Good morning, everyone, and welcome to TCA. We are coming to you live. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Christian.
Hey, happy Election Day.
Happy Election Day.
Yeah, so here we are on Election Day, and we're coming to you live from Mooresville, North Carolina. Obviously, a lot of buzz about the election here in North Carolina. Yeah. But also some really cool stuff happening at Weinig, Holz-Her, USA. But we thought today,
in the spirit
of
Election Day,
of voting on Election Day, we thought that we'd do a little bit of voting as well. So we're going to put some polls up on our Facebook page for you today. So I'm going to do that right now.
Not just on our page, right? We're going to put it in the feed now.
Yeah, in the actual stream, we're going to put a couple polls up here because we're talking about events, industry events today, and we want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, well, maybe we should clarify. We're not asking you who you want to vote for today.
No. That's not what we're after at all.
We're trying to make this industry specific. Last week we had an event that was the first of its kind from IWF.
That's right. So
IWF
Connect
event.
Yep.
And last week it had when we were live, we talked some about it. I had watched a few of the sessions on Monday.
That's right.
And was interested to see how it was going to go the rest of the week. I was actually pleasantly surprised that it got a little better. People got more comfortable doing the live streams. I watched several of them. I probably watched obviously not every one of them, but probably through the week, maybe 20 live streams. So it was very encouraging to see that our industry was embracing it. So we want to know from you guys a little bit about what you thought.
Yeah, if you went to IWF Connect, if you went online during that week, let us know what you thought. Let us know if you think that's the future of the woodworking industry's events, or if you think that was an attempt that will fade after this year.
That's one of your polling questions, right?
That's exactly right. So let us know what you guys think in the poll. We've published that poll on Facebook right now, so you can go ahead and vote on that. So and it looks like some folks are already, Andy. So we've had a couple no's already that is not the future of industry events, which is so interesting, right? Because this was a complete pivot from the traditional IWF. And to be honest with you, IWF Connect, in my opinion, could have been called a completely different name because it was a completely different type of event.
Yes.
Right? There definitely was not I don't think that there was an atmosphere of bustling, of that seeing the magnitude of IWF that we're all used to. This was much more virtual. And while there was absolutely the opportunity to have interaction on the site, it obviously was not the same as an in-person event.
Like anything, we've said this. We try a lot of new things on this program where we're just seeing what we can do to make things better, or decide that maybe it made things worse and not do it again.
Right.
And so I think that IWF Connect was an attempt to do something that had to be completely different. Obviously, we couldn't have the in-person event. But there was a few, for me personally, I was a little confused as to, to start with, how to get into the event and some of these things. So it made it a little more, in our industry where we have a lot of owner-operators, that time for things to make it to be a little more difficult to get in. The first hurdle, the first obstacle, the first thing that comes up that was unexpected, it might make you not want to get in. So
it's something different, right? It's something that it's something that a lot of us had to learn kind of on the spur of the moment of how to navigate through this platform that none of us had experience with. I remember seeing a statistic a few years back, maybe 4 or 6 years ago, for Atlanta, and it was saying how attendees that only something like 20% of the attendees or something like that coming to Atlanta was that was their first trade show. Meaning that people who were coming to IWF Atlanta, had gone to trade shows before. Yeah. They knew what to expect. They knew what a show was all about. Where IWF Connect was the first time a lot of us, were trying to navigate that platform. So we want to know, again, we published a poll out on Facebook. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, go over to Facebook, fill out the poll. We want to know if you think that IWF Connect is the future of industry events.
Or we could absolutely start some discussion in the comments on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
if you're there
That's right.
and you want to just answer the question there in the comments, you don't have to go to Facebook because some people don't have Facebook.
That's true. Just put it in in the comments. Let us know.
But we are interested for a variety of reasons. We're just our own intrigue into events, but also what should we be doing?
That's exactly right. And how do we bring our technology to market in the future? Do we wait for in-person events to come back? Do we progress and pioneer into digital
I think
events?
it's even beyond that because it's not about waiting. Things are going to change. The pandemic will be gone at some point, right? So when that day comes, whether that's next week or next year, I think that's still up there.
That's right.
So what should we be preparing for? Should we just simply go back to the way we always did things? I personally, I'm not a huge fan of that, but is that what our industry is a fan of?
Right.
Should we just do what we've always done, or should we maybe there's something in between? Maybe we should take advantage of the technology that we have more of these virtual events as well as in-person events. That's what we've tried recently with Next Level a couple of weeks ago. We had several people that were here in person, and we also had live streamed. We'll talk about what we're going to do out in California here in a couple of weeks shortly. But yeah. So what is the answer? Where does our industry want to go?
Right. That's right. So we're getting some more feedback on the IWF Connect. It looks like pretty much everyone is saying IWF Connect is not the future for industry events. That's quite interesting to us. And, I'm wondering, Andy, when we talk about getting used to a new platform and kind of investing, not only learning it, but also, really getting on board with it, is that something that our industry is going to do together?
Right.
Or is that going to be more segmented? You brought up we did Next Level, and various other partners in the industry have done their own virtual events. Sure. Training seminars have been, more training seminars this year than probably the last 10 years combined. Yeah. Right? Online. So, so is that going to be something that's segmented in the future? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope so. I hope that we'll do more of these. For me, like I said before, I was a little confused with the IWF Connect. It was certainly an attempt, and I'm all for trying new things. But I think that the 15-minute window it seemed like a lot of the presentations I was watching, they were rushed because they had a pre-canned presentation that took up all of their time, so there was no time for any interaction with the audience afterwards. Sure. Because time was cut basically by the time the 15 minutes was up. By the time their presentation was done, they were out of time.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
Maybe, like I said, it certainly wasn't a replacement for IWF and for that one-on-one connection, that one-on-one interaction that we're all accustomed to having at trade shows.
That we're used to, that we're ready to connect with people, we're ready to engage with people when we're there in person.
But, could it be possible to get some of that without being in person?
Right. So I think that's a good point. And I also think that there's technology out there that maybe we haven't, just because as an industry we haven't embraced this for years. There's technology out there that maybe we haven't really tapped into as much as we should. Are we really harnessing the power of, say, watch parties? Right. Where we have smaller groups of people watching a presentation online, being able to talk about it in a smaller group than the entire forum. So technology that is like that, where it could actually enhance the engagement of these virtual events.
Right. So it needs to be better, right? It can't get worse than it was.
It can always get better, and always will get better.
But it won't get better if we don't try something new.
Today
we're trying the poll. That's the first time we've tried that on this program. If you've watched this, you know that we've tried a lot of things here first before we've tried to implement them in any of our on-site tours or of our in-person / virtual presentations that we've done.
That's right. So here, TCA is kind of the guinea pig of our live streams. So we have a poll out there on Facebook for everybody watching. Do you think IWF Connect is the future of industry events? Let us know. We want to know. So go on Facebook and check it out.
And so one thing,
give us your
because
vote.
this is the first time we've tried it, we don't know if when this live stream ends, if that poll disappears or not.
I'm not sure. We'll have to check that out.
But we still, if you're watching this later and you're not watching it live, please put your thoughts into the comments because we're incredibly interested to know
absolutely
what the future of our industry looks like.
That's exactly
what you guys
right.
want to do.
All right, so let's go through a few other things. Andy,
Okay,
you mentioned California, which we are excited about just in a couple weeks. So everybody in Southern California, you guys should be excited too, because we are opening up our Anaheim showroom for an open house. And we're very excited about that. We have a couple special things planned that week, don't we?
So that Tuesday, which is November the 17th, we will be hosting. We will be on the road again with our TCA. If you guys saw it a few weeks ago, we were on site at Cutter Woodworking. That was a fantastic event. If you didn't see it, go back and watch some of the things that we did, because it wasn't just about the TCA. We got an excellent tour of the facility there, which is an amazing facility. It started us to think about all of the things that we could do with the TCA after we were there. So
That's right.
So it was a great tour. Go back and watch those things. But we're going to do something similar. We're going to have the TCA. It'll be very early in the morning in California, but we're going to be live from our office, our showroom in California, and we have a special guest that will join us that morning. Mark Nappy from Quality First Woodworks.
Yeah, Quality First Woodworks, great shop there in Anaheim, California. They just make absolutely tremendous products, mainly commercial case goods. They're great. They actually put in the cabinets into our showroom out in Anaheim.
Oh yeah, we should absolutely get a shot of those cabinets when Mark is with us, and we'll show you some of his work.
That's right. So great shop there. So we'll be hosting Mark on TCA, and then we'll be live streaming over from his shop later that day.
His shop's maybe a block from our office, and so we will just drive around the corner. We'll go live from his location.
Yeah, so if you're in Southern California and watching, definitely look up Quality First Woodworks. Great company, great manufacturer right there in Anaheim, California, and a great partner to us. We appreciate everything that they do. So that's happening, and then the actual open house.
Yep. Well, before we do the open house, we're going to do another tour, right?
We are.
We have
on
another.
Tuesday.
We have another tour on Tuesday is confirmed. So after we leave Mark's place, Mark is a great panel processing location to show some automation at a medium-sized shop, and then we're going to go, I believe, to Crenshaw Lumber to see a little more. If you haven't seen solid wood processing in Southern California, it might be a little different. You saw the tour that we did at Cutter, which was a nice big. I think this building that we were in for the tour is 400,000 square feet or something like that. A big place, big roof, big walls.
when it's that big, I think it gets measured in acres.
In acres, yeah. But so at Crenshaw and at some of the Southern California lumber processors, you'll see that it's a little different. There aren't always walls on the buildings. You know, they have a roof over the equipment to keep direct rain from falling on it when it does rain. But because it doesn't rain that often, and because it's a drier climate,
sure,
it's not uncommon to see open air structures, and so we should see some of that as we
open air solid wood manufacturing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So we'll be touring that Crenshaw Lumber on that Tuesday as well, and then after that, Wednesday, Thursday, our showroom in Anaheim will be open. We'll be doing a couple live streams each day from our showroom. We will have all of our machines that are on the floor there in Anaheim running. We'll have some really cool presentations about panel processing, about some cool new features on our edge banding machines. We'll look at the Evolution, which is our vertical CNC milling machine. So there's going to be some really cool presentations done those 2 days.
We're finalizing our schedule now, so we'll have that up.
If you guys are in the area of Southern California, we would absolutely love you all to come by. We have all the safety protocols in place there at Expo West, which is our showroom in Southern California. We'd love you guys to come by, actually, be able to put your hands on the parts, look inside the machines, be able to interact with us face to face, and and get to know our experts there in California. We'd love it if you came by in person, and if you don't, like I said, we will be live streaming those 2 days as well. So
yeah, should be a great event. It's also something a little different.
It is.
Because we are going to have the TCA from our office. We're going to transfer. We're going to pivot over to Mark Nappy's place and see Quality First Woodworks. Excellent location. We'll go to Crenshaw Lumber. We're going to have the open house out there. A lot going on that week. But when we were talking earlier, do we have a special guest next week?
I think we do. We're putting it together. Okay. We'll keep you guys posted on Facebook and all of our social media platforms about TCA next week. We're trying to secure a very special guest from across the pond.
Across the pond. Yeah. We're in Germany. We may have someone join us live. If you've seen some of the things we've done, the first attempt to be live from multiple locations was when I was in Texas a few weeks ago. It went over well, so we're going to start trying to mix in more of those types of interviews where we can actually be live instead of pre-recording the interviews.
That's right. So anyway, all that to say, we got some cool stuff lined up for the next couple weeks. Yeah. Obviously today is election day, so so if you haven't already, both of us and everybody here at Weinig Holz-Her USA encourage you to go out and vote, make your voice heard. Go out and cast your ballot, because that's what America's all about, right?
It is. It is. We are a democratic republic, and that allows us the right to choose our leaders. And so, please participate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Andy, so one other thing we want to go over today is what's going on here in Mooresville in our showroom here. A couple of things I wanted to touch on real quick was, so we have some shops coming in over the next week and two this weekend, next week, to look at some specific machines on the floor. And you guys know that we talk about that a lot. We talk about customers coming in, doing proof of concept, doing machine demonstrations, being able to actually see things physically. With that said, we also have some training classes happening this week as well, and that's something that we haven't really talked a lot about on TCA. So I wanted to just take a few minutes before we close it out and remind everybody, look, this facility here in Mooresville is more than just about showing off machine technology and demonstrating machines. It's about training those operators.
Well, it's a resource. It can be used as a resource to our customers to help you to more fully utilize this technology.
Yep, that's exactly right. Now, Andy, I mean, you've been in the industry for a while, so you know how important proper training is when it comes to, you get a new piece of equipment, you have to be properly trained. You can't just kind of take your old skill set and try to apply it to that new machine, right?
Right. Your old skill set can be of benefit for sure. But what you don't want to do is to try to get training from the tech support line.
Right. You want to actually invest in training.
So it's going to be better for everybody.
Absolutely. So that's one thing that we offer here is we have folks come in. It seems like every week we have classes that are held here where we take operators and we bring them out of their shop, right? Out of where the distractions are, out of where the daily operation are, and really train them so that they are fully focused on what they're learning here, and then they go back to their shop and they are just pros at running their new equipment. That's something that we offer, and like I said, we haven't really touched on it much on TCA, but I want everyone watching to realize that is one thing that we really pride ourselves here at this facility is our training capacities.
We have regularly scheduled training classes that are more I hate to say generic because it's not necessarily generic training, but it's some of the more frequent requests that we have. So we have regularly scheduled classes. But if you have something that is entirely different, if you have something that's very specific, we can tailor a class to your needs, whether that be here in Mooresville or at your location. So we have a whole training department that is dedicated to trying to improve the experience that our customers are having with their machines.
That's right. So if you're interested, contact your local Weinig or Holz-Her expert. They'll be able to get you in touch with the proper channels to set up training for you or to bring your people in for, like Andy said, one of those pre-scheduled training classes. So,
Oh, good morning, Jason Navis. I see that you've tuned in and commented.
Oh, there you go, Jason. Yes. Good morning to the folks in the Great Midwest, which is where Jason is, right? So perfect. Anyway, so everyone watching, thank you for tuning in this morning. Again, happy Election Day. Go out, make your voice heard. Go out and vote today. And we hope that you have an absolutely terrific week.
Yeah, more to come on our potential special guest for next week.
Yep.
Keep checking out our social media feeds, and we'll give you some more information on that. But until then, have a fantastic week.
That's right.
And regardless of whether we have the special guest or not, we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week. TCA with Christian and Andy every Tuesday. 9
Always
o'clock
trying
Eastern,
new things.
right?
Always trying new things.